Hello and welcome to an album a day, day 180, going through my vinyl collection. Today we're going back to 1981. My copy, my copy is in 1981. It came out in 1980, and this is a soundtrack. I was thinking it was by John Barry, but it wasn't. It was John Morris who did this one, and very emotional movie. Again, not 100% historically accurate, but reasonably accurate from what they've discovered in the journals of one of the lead characters. I'm talking, of course, about the film The Elephant Man. Very important film. I remember we went to see it at the theater, but it was sold out. And so our option that we went and saw instead was the Damien the Omen 3. A little different. But when it finally came out on cable, I was able to watch it. Really just amazed by, I think the most important takeaway from the movie is what they portrayed as the heart of John Merrick. The fact that he could go through the things that he went through and say, you know what, it's okay, because at the end of the day, I'm loved, and that's the most important thing. And although a lot of the things that they showed in the movie were not real, just the idea of that, the idea that somebody could have been treated the way he was part of a circus. I mean, that part was true. That's how Treves found him, that he was treated that way, looked at as an animal, that sort of thing, but could have found that comfort in that fact is really amazing. Now, this copy that I got sealed, but unfortunately, because it was a bargain bin, they tend to do this. I don't know if they do it so much anymore, how long ago this was done, because again, this is a 1981 copy, but they would put a niche in it. So right here, they cut into the album cover to mark it for bargain. Now, I would argue that they could put a color dot on it, like a little, orange sticker or something to say it's bargain. But the reason they don't do that is because people would peel it off and put it on another album they wanted, and then they would get a bargain price. So when you put the notch in it, there's no question about the fact that this is a bargain bin. Unfortunately, it just damages the quality of the album. And for collectors, if that's the one that you happen to find, even if you get a sealed copy, it's already devalued because of that. So that being said, the vinyl is mint. I have not listened to this yet, but it is 20th Century Fox, I believe the only album that I have on this label, which is nice. You can actually hear the trumpets and the percussion as soon as you see that. The back is very simple. There you go. The front has that grainy feel to it, which I actually think really works well. I love that the movie was in black and white. I thought that was such a brilliant choice. Wait, was it? Seems like it was, but then it seems like when he went to the opera, I almost remember that being in color. I don't know, I'm going to have to watch it again. It's an incredibly powerful and great movie. Inside, we get some information on the film. Obviously, there's no lyrics, so we're not getting lyrics here, but we're getting information on the film and some pictures. Interestingly, they show the pictures of the makeup, which he unfortunately could not win an award for because that didn't exist, although he spent like almost half a day in the makeup chair every day that he had to film. Definitely deserved an award. But because of this film, that award was created, which is really cool. So we do get some shots of him in the makeup chair, a little bit more here. They've really made those small. Again, this was a sealed copy, but you can see it was folded in packaging. So again, and that's just something you unfortunately can't do a whole lot about. This is the actual Frederick Treves, which is interesting. And then here we have John Morris, the composer. So there you go. But I've read The Elephant Man, the book. It's a fascinating thing. I've done a little bit of studying on John Merrick over the years, and it's quite a tale. So musically, I can't speak to what's on the album, like I said, because I haven't listened to it yet. But there's a couple things I suspect, and one I know. I'll double check the song list here in a second, but one I know for sure should be on here. Would be that opening circus theme that was kind of creepy and kind of sad. I'm guessing that is the Elephant Man theme. Then we have Dr. Treves, that's Anthony Hopkins' character, Dr. Trees Visits the Freak, that would be when he went to the circus to see him. Show in the Elephant Man, probably when he was on display for the public. Then we get John Merrick and Psalm. So there was a point where they thought he couldn't speak, that he was mute, and then when they left the room, he started reading the psalm out loud, and they rushed in and they're like, "You can speak," and he's like, "Yeah." John Merrick and Mrs. Kendall, I can't remember. Mrs. Kendall, I think, was the older lady. So I think there was a moment where they kind of bonded a little bit. Then the nightmare, probably when the evil people busted into his room and were getting him drunk and passing him around. Mrs. Kendall, maybe she was the one from the theater. Yeah, she was the one from the theater, I think, because side 2 opens with Mrs. Kendall's theater and poetry reading. Then we go to the Belgian circus episode. That might have been when he was kidnapped and brought back to the circus. Then we get Train Station, which I think was the I'm Not an Animal scene. Then we get Pantomime. I'm not sure what that is. Then we get Adagio for Strings, and this is the most important piece, I think, in the film. This was when he finishes his model of the church, and he decides that he wants to sleep like a regular person, thus ending his life. From what I've researched, he actually was found that way, so it seems to be that it was a very intentional thing, but at the same point they say, well, we don't think he killed himself. He knew that would kill him. So I don't know. That's a little bit controversial to me, but that music, Adagio for Strings by Barber, is an absolutely amazing and powerful piece of music. It's one that you can really just get emotionally carried away on. And then Recapitulation would probably be just the end credit music, I'm guessing, by its placement. Yeah, interestingly though, so Adagio for Strings was recorded is by Samuel Barber and played by the London Symphony Orchestra, conducted by Andre Previn, 1977. So they did not re-record that for this film. That was a recording taken and used in the film. I didn't think they would have. It doesn't really make sense. I know for Rocky 3, they used Conquest from Rocky 2, and no, they didn't re-record that. Why would you spend the money doing that when an orchestra is about $100,000 an hour? So no need to re-record things you don't need to do. You're going to save on your budget if you can, and where you can save on your orchestra is a good place to do it. Yeah, excellent movie. It's one that I think everyone should see and just kind of learn how to appreciate life based on John's outlook and attitude, and think about the things he had been through and how he looked at life. It's a pretty amazing journey. I might do an episode on this on the Haskincast podcast at some point, or maybe I'll suggest it to Corey for Ultimate Catalog, or not Ultimate Catalog Clash, for Power of Positive Geeking. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a great day. We'll see you in the next one. Cheers.